Before Osiris ruled the underworld, there was Anubis, jackal-headed, cloaked in shadow, the guardian of the dead and the forgotten. In today's video, we will be discussing 5 dark truths about Anubis, the Egyptian god of the dead. So get ready to learn about Anubis and his dark secrets. 5. Anubis was the first lord of the underworld. Long before Osiris rose to become the king of the underworld, Anubis held dominion over the necropolis of the first Egyptian capital, Memphis. It is believed that Anubis was the son of the sky goddess Nephthys and the earth god Geb. However, other myths claim he is the son of Ra, or a self-created deity who sprung from the earth unformed. According to Plutarch, Anubis was the first king of the underworld, ruling during the age of the first humans. He taught them how to live their lives correctly so they could avoid pain and death. During his reign, the underworld was a place of joy rather than torment. However, after Anubis came into conflict with Set, god of chaos, the latter slew him and took over the underworld, turning it into a place of suffering. Fortunately, Horus, son of Osiris, defeated Set and restored order to the realm of the dead, allowing Anubis to return to his former role as guardian of the dead. 4. He weighed the heart of the dead against a feather. Upon death, an ancient Egyptian's heart would be removed and placed on a scale to be weighed against the feather of justice, representing truthfulness and purity. The goddess of wisdom and justice, Ma'at, held the feather. Anubis assisted in this process, guiding the deceased to the Hall of Truth, where the ceremony was performed. The deceased person's heart was placed on one side of the scale, while the feather was placed on the other side. If the heart was heavier than the feather, it meant that the deceased had lived a life full of sin, and their heart would be devoured by Ammit, the goddess of retribution. On the other hand, if the heart was lighter than the feather, the deceased would be allowed to proceed to the field of reeds, a paradise in the afterlife reserved for the righteous. This ceremony was not only a test of the individual's morality, but also served as a way to maintain cosmic balance and order. The Egyptians believed that the deceased's ability to pass the weighing of the heart ceremony depended on how well they had followed the teachings of Ma'at during their lifetime. By adhering to these teachings, the Egyptians hoped to ensure that their hearts would be judged pure and that they would be granted a blissful afterlife. The heart was considered the source of a person's being and contained their soul, personality, and memories. Therefore, its fate was of utmost importance. 3. His priests were the first embalmers. The priests of Anubis were responsible for preserving the bodies of the dead through embalming, a practice that began around 3000 BC during the Third Dynasty. They carefully removed internal organs such as the liver, stomach, intestines, and lungs, which were considered impure. Only the heart was kept inside the body, since it was believed to be the source of human life and emotions. The priests then washed the body with spices and herbs before wrapping it in linen and placing it in a coffin. They also performed rituals and spells to protect the body from decay and to help guide the soul to the afterlife. In addition to embalming, the priests of Anubis also oversaw the construction of tombs and the placement of offerings for the dead. They were highly respected members of society and were often involved in the preparation of mummies for burial. In fact, it is believed that embalming was initially developed as a religious ritual to honor the gods and to ensure the safe passage of the soul to the afterlife. Over time, the practice became more standardized and was adopted by the general population. The priests of Anubis played a crucial role in preserving the bodies of the dead and ensuring that they were properly prepared for burial. Their knowledge and skills were highly valued, and they were considered essential to the proper functioning of the funeral rites. 2. He was feared, even by the other gods. Anubis's power and authority were so great that even the other gods feared him. One myth tells the story of how Anubis and Seth got into a fight over the body of a human. Seth, god of chaos and storms, wanted to use the body for his own purposes, but Anubis, god of the dead, claimed it as his own because the human had died. Seth challenged Anubis to a wrestling match, but Anubis refused to fight him, knowing that he could not win. Instead, Anubis called upon Thoth, the ibis-headed god of wisdom and magic, to act as a referee. Thoth suggested that the dispute be settled by having Seth and Anubis each choose a champion to fight on their behalf. Seth chose a crocodile, believing its strength and ferocity would ensure victory. However, Anubis chose a small mongoose, which surprised everyone. To their astonishment, the mongoose defeated the crocodile, establishing Anubis's dominance over the dead and preventing Seth from disturbing the peace of the underworld. This myth highlights Anubis's importance and power in the Egyptian pantheon. As the god of the dead, he was responsible for maintaining the balance between the world of the living and the world of the dead, and he would not tolerate any disturbances to the peace of the underworld. The other gods respected and feared him for his abilities and his connection to the mysteries of death and the afterlife. And number one, his name was Whispers. At the moment of death, Anubis was known by many names, including Jundusha, meaning the one who makes his way over the threshold, and Renenutet, meaning she who gives life. These names reflected the various aspects of his role as the god of the dead. One of the most interesting names associated with Anubis is the name given to him by the dead, which was Whispers. This name was used to refer to Anubis when he was summoned by the dying or those who had recently passed away. It was a way to call upon his presence and invoke his assistance in guiding the soul to the afterlife. The ancient Egyptians believed that when someone was near death, their soul would leave their body and travel to the underworld. The soul would then undergo a series of tests and rituals before entering the field of reeds, a paradise-like afterlife reserved for those who had lived a good life. Anubis was responsible for guiding the soul through this journey and ensuring that it reached its final destination. When the dead spoke of Anubis, they used a soft, hushed voice, hence the name Whispers. This was not only a way to show respect to the god of the dead, but also to prevent evil spirits from hearing their words and causing harm. The ancient Egyptians believed that evil spirits could take advantage of loud, boisterous speech to cause trouble in the world of the dead. Therefore, when speaking about Anubis or any other deity related to death and the afterlife, it was important to keep voices low and reverent. Anubis is a fascinating and complex deity with a rich history and a significant role in ancient Egyptian mythology. As the god of the dead, he was responsible for guiding souls to the afterlife and maintaining the balance between the world of the living and the world of the dead. His power and authority were respected and feared by the other gods, and he was even called upon by the dead as they passed away. From his association with the jackal to his ability to weigh the hearts of the dead, Anubis is a truly enigmatic figure who continues to capture the imaginations of people today. What are your thoughts on Anubis? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.